welcome everyone, and this is episode 2 of The Big Picture, where we help you see,
Think
and act big. And today we're gonna talk about New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution in line with the holidays.
In line with the holidays, and how was your holiday, Dave?
I think this is a phenomenal year. So I'm loving each day of the holiday. Christmas is my favorite season.
Yeah, and in the Philippines, Christmas season and the New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve is basically really, really big, and it's just wonderful to be here after that wonderful. And are you refreshed? Feeling refreshed for 2017?
Yeah, I think I'm so excited. I've learned so many things in this year, and I'm excited to apply it next year. I think
Cool.
next year is gonna be big.
And in this episode of The Big Picture, guys, we're gonna focus on New Year's resolution. Number one, because everybody's setting it, but we wanna focus on starting strong for this. And I'm sure you're writing down whatever goals, or you probably want to lose weight, whatever. But we just want to help you do that. And today we're gonna share to you tips that we think work and that has worked for us also. And Dave, you want to start?
Yeah. So people, the common mistake, or I'm not saying mistake, it's a common thing happening to everyone, not just here in the Philippines, is that we make New Year's resolution, but we forget about it like in the first quarter and it's gone, right? And
Destroy it away.
and it's a repeated cycle, and what they call about it is insanity, is doing
Same thing.
same thing all over
Over
again.
again.
And we do that every year, like we write something every year but end up not really fulfilling them each year as well, and it's an endless cycle. And yeah, so today we think that we have something to share that will help this process. I mean, it might not be perfect, but it could be something that might help them really make a difference next year and really start strong.
Yeah, and well, first tip we probably would share to you guys is that write down your goals.
Write down your goals.
Yeah, even though people would say, or you probably have done this before, you probably could no longer see your goals, your written goals down. It's still really important. Scientifically, it's proven that it does help you, focus and get on with your year. But how do, in your opinion, Dave, how can they continue and start strong after writing down their
Yeah, I
goals?
think so. One thing that you've shared to me earlier actually is that you review it at the end of the year, and that's one strength that I don't have actually. and I've learned that in a couple of times already, that when you make a goal, always be reminded about it. Human as we are, we always forget things, and with just a simple reminder, a picture or a written goal in your desktop background or in your phone would easily remind you what made you start, or what made you kept going. So I think being reminded all the time is very crucial.
So do you suggest like putting their goal somewhere, or?
Yes, exactly. I put my goals, or even have my dream board.
Yeah, okay.
I watch it every morning. I place it beside my bedroom. So it's one thing that we really suggest. If you write it down, make sure you remember it, and always keep on. If it changes, don't be afraid to change it. As long as you keep on reminding yourself that you started this year strong, and you can continue being strong as long as you remember your goals.
One thing about what I do, and the reason why I was able to review, is that I don't actually try to remember to review. I put them in the calendar.
Oh, cool.
So that it would just tell me like it's time to review, and I just get on with it. So
And eventually it becomes a habit, right?
Maybe the habit is looking at the calendar.
Yeah.
Or like, because I set the calendar's notification so that it would email me or send me a text message. And
Alright.
that's kind of a hack for you guys. If you're writing your goals down and you want to review it, or whatever time-driven activity that you have, you can always set your calendar, put it in your Google Calendar, or if whatever you're using, iCal, and just make sure you're notified, and then you will receive a notification that like, hey, it's time to.
Yeah. I actually do that for work, and I love to try that with my New Year's resolution. One common mistake as well. I love to use the word mistake, but the thing is, one thing that people actually, or one thing we want to suggest rather, is that how to make a truly good or a truly strong resolution.
Wow,
And I
yeah,
think
that's true.
you have a tip
That's
for
true. Yeah, one time, not one time, but when I was much younger, someone asked me what's my goal, what type of car do I want, and that time I didn't really know. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But what I realized back then is that it's because those type of goals, like the type of car that you want, and all those kind of things, sometimes a lot of them are a means to a goal, to an end, and really the end is in everything that we do. In goal setting, for example, the end goal is definitely happiness. And Vishen Lakiani, the author of the Code to the Extraordinary Mind, and the founder of the Mind Valley, he suggested that of redefining the way you look at goal setting. And he said that just write into three categories what you really like, what you really want, what will make you happy. And the first category is the type of experience that you want to have.
Oh, can you discuss more about that?
Sure. So the experience would be like, for example, if for 2017, do you want to experience going out of the country, being lost in a crowd of strangers, right?
Yeah.
That would be a really interesting goal, right? Very interesting experience that you might want to have, or being lost in the jungle. Not just traveling, like the type of food that you want to eat, the type of maybe person you want to meet. Maybe one of your goals is to experience meeting someone like Donald Trump or whoever's the next president.
Yeah.
Or whoever's the So that's because when you start looking at the type of experiences that you want to have, it brings you closer to the things that makes you happy.
Oh, interesting. And I've actually, I love traveling, and maybe that's one reason why I'm drawn to traveling.
Yeah.
I've actually booked like 4 trips already for next year.
So what are the things? What are the experiences outside? You're booking outside the country, or like,
Both. I have one for a couple of just locally.
Local, yeah.
I love to go back to Siargao.
Nice.
When I first encountered that island, I think it was breathtaking. It was a different. It's like I'm in a different world, and
You're going out surfing?
no, I'm trying to learn, but yeah, it's one thing that drawn me back to that island, but also the culture, how people have this kind of lifestyle that's laid back, and it's nice, And one thing I want to share, because I think experience is really a good factor that will make us happy.
Yeah.
Just because I've learned a lot just by traveling, just by immersing myself, and I've done that in the past few years.
Sure.
Doing immersing myself in one city for 3 months as a freelancer. I'm able to do that, and it really made it changed me actually, and I think it got me a lot more happier, and I would have to agree with the experience that focus on the experience, not necessarily like the car, like the house, and all.
Because sometimes you might say, I want to stay in a 12-bedroom, mansion, for example, and if you really search through what you really like, you might just want to have that sense of security.
Oh, cool.
Right? Or the sense of respect from your peers. I don't know. We don't know. But the thing is, once you get clear on the type of experiences you want, it's shortcuts to what you really want in life, and shortcuts to your happiness. So, but the second bucket that you might want to look into for 2017 are the type of the growth opportunities that you want to have.
Okay, growth is the second category.
Yeah, it's the second category because I've interviewed tons of people who are moving from another company to another company, and I would say, why are you moving? What's your motivation? And guess what they would say?
Growth.
Yeah.
They're not growing anymore.
They're not growing anymore, right? So you probably said this before. At some point. But the reality is, because part of your DNA is the desire to grow. Every single living thing in this world grows. If you stop growing, you start dying. That makes you happy. That brings you closer to your happiness.
Yeah, and I would have to add experience. I think I have to tell you a secret. I actually get so sad during the Burr months.
Yeah.
And it's not about the snow because we don't have snow here. Unlike people who have that outside.
It's not winter depression.
It's not winter depression, definitely not. But it's because I actually get to review what happened that year, and for the past 3-5 years, I always feel sad because I think I haven't done anything, and I haven't got outside the house and buy my own car and all. But this year, amazingly, it's different. Even if I haven't really bought my own car yet, or left the house from my parents, but one thing I realized is that I have grown. I've started this year as a different Dave that came out. It's a totally different Dave this year. Even if I try to be sad, force myself to be sad, I can't just do it because I've experienced. This is the first time I've reached in a national level competition,
which
in
is
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, right?
Yeah, and we're both from Toastmasters.
Yeah.
So it's not something to brag about, but the point is.
It is.
The point is that because I just competed in the clubs before and I've never reached way beyond national level. And I think it changed me, the whole experience, and I believe that I have grown from it. Also this year I've started 2 projects that they're still working today. I have a vape shop, and also I started Podcast Engineers, and so I believe that this year was an amazing year, that I focused on growth, and I did really somehow on my way to growing more and more.
Yeah, I mean you hit the head in the nail in the head there when you talk about the product experience is really becoming like kind of a different person, and I don't know, for some reason it makes you happier.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with what you said earlier, that it's either you grow or you decay.
Yeah.
So there's only one or the other.
So I hope in your 2017, you and I and you guys who are looking and listening to this podcast, or you're watching the video, you are growing in 2017. That one of my mentors said that your ceiling will become your floor.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting. That's gonna be another episode for our podcast, but that's really interesting concept. In terms of growth, the last category of goal setting is in the area of contribution, because deep down inside of you and inside of me is the sense and the need to contribute. So they said that there's a Maslow's, and Tony Robbins said that in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's not just that. On top of that is actually the desire to really contribute to other people, to make a difference in other people's life. It might be your immediate family, or the people around you, or a total stranger.
Yeah, so I've heard this tip from, I've read it in a blog, I guess, that if you're sad, if you're feeling sad, it's very easy to get out of depression. Just try to help someone else. And sometimes we think about contribution. It's all about finances. It's all about giving money. It's all about feeding someone.
Correct.
But no, it's not actually just about that. You could actually offer your time, your effort, your skills. You could teach someone, right? And sometimes we take that for granted because we just focus on finances and we give money and all. But have you ever experienced someone who got sick and they're in the hospital, but you're the one who really tended to him or her?
Right.
And I think that's really valuable, more than the money that you gave. And contribution is all about that. And sometimes we take that for granted, in terms of extracurricular as well, or extra things like in Toastmasters, in JCs, or whatever club you belong to, whatever community. If you volunteer, if you join those groups, I think you will be a lot more happier.
Yeah.
Just because you have done something to contribute to the community, to the people, to the country, and so no wonder volunteers.
I'd like to add to that, because if you're for 2017, I think joining Toastmasters or JCs or Lions Club or whatever, it's actually a 3-level, because it enhances your experience, it gives you a level of growth, and it does, allows you to give a significant contribution to other people's lives. And so I think that's a really good kind of application to all of this. And plus it
make it
makes
your make part of your goal.
friends. Yeah. And so you might want to consider. We're part of that, and I think being part of Toastmasters and in other organizations allows me to meet new friends and build new projects and essentially become happier.
And hopefully we're actually building a community here in the big picture as well.
Yes.
So we're hoping that you join us if you like the mindset, if you like growing, experiencing new things.
If you want to grow with us, because we're definitely always in the process of growing. In episode 1, I said we're very curious, we're very hungry, and if you're like that, if you want to grow with us in this podcast,
make sure to subscribe.
Or send us an email.
Get connected. We're gonna formulate. We're gonna figure this all out. And those are the goals that we have for next year. And I believe that's best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. And
all right.
I hope you got something out of this episode where as you write down your goals, as you set your goals, I hope you
focus on those 3 categories.
Focus on the category. It will not only make you successful, but make you happy in life. Because I think that it is really important to start strong, but much more than starting strong is to finish strong. And I hope you and I will see each other in the end of 2017, and we'll look back and say, wow, what a difference a year can make in your life. Amazing.
I just one thing I want to add just to wrap this whole thing up. And I mean, even if we suggested you start strong, dream big. Of course, we're all about getting and achieving more.
Yes.
But if in case you fail and you make mistake or you stumble, that's okay. Learn to forgive yourself and just keep on moving forward. 2 steps back, 1 step forward.
Pat yourself in the back.
And we're here to support you. We're here to. You can share to us your experience, and I believe as long as you keep on getting back up, I think you're way above the competition, or way better than people who are just sitting there watching Netflix. But so
TV series or teledrama.
So that's how we want the big picture to.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. And at this point, Dave, I'd like to thank our sponsors because I forgot to do it at the very beginning. For first, Podcast Engineers.
Yes, Podcast Engineers. I'm the one producing this.
The producer,
my team,
and the team.
Yeah. Hopefully, we could get this place as well.
And
if you ever go
Gusto Mari, very beautiful place. They're very kind. They gave us this spot in their restaurant, and it's beautiful. Be here.
All right. So
thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you. Happy New Year, and we'll see you in the next episode. Have a great start of the year.
All right.
That's it.